Tonight, we find out what Sema does in the shadows, and in particular, a bunch of stealth tricks for getting through heroics really quickly. That and more is coming up on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 342. And playing alongside me from the shadows is Sema. Hi, Sema. How's it going?
Hello. Oh, let's see. Well, I've been doing a lot of conquest and leveling. I've been trying to actually pay way more attention to leveling than I have been because I keep getting distracted by conquest. But I did finish leveling my smuggler, who was, I think, in the mid 40s or maybe 50 last week. Now she's 75. And I've been spending some time on my shadow, who actually you helped me get the shadow to 26 on that day of exploration. But she's 44 now.
Yeah, why don't you explain that day of exploration? Because that was...
Yeah, so Max was actually playing a different game, so I was just bugging him, and I wanted to go on his Yavin stronghold. And the deal is, you get on the stronghold, and I was level 1 character, and then he boots you out. Kicks you out, and then you end up on Yavin, and then you get on the taxi, and you go to each taxi spot, and you get...
And you have to
XP.
stop at each one, right? Is that what you
Yes,
discovered?
that's what I found out. Because the first time I just went from the first one to the last one, and I didn't get XP for the part that was in between. So I think Yavin, if you just do Yavin 4, it's at least like 10 or 12 levels.
Yeah, I think you went from level 2 to level 12 just on Yavin.
And then we decided to do it on all the rest. So we did Rishi, we did Coruscant, we did Manon, we did all of them.
Yeah, every place we had a stronghold that you could get kicked out of, because you don't have a ship, so you can't really fly there yourself.
Right.
And
right.
What was the final level you ended up at?
It was like 26.
Yeah.
Just from riding taxis.
Yeah, just from riding around. So if you're, if you want a PvP or something, you need to be level 10. You could roll a character, get invited to someone's Yavin stronghold, get kicked, ride the speeder for literally 2 minutes, and you're level 10.
Right.
Plus.
Right. So then after that, I went back to Typhon and did Typhon because I wanted to get her lightsaber. Because at level 40-ish, it was kind of embarrassing to have that little practice vibro sword thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any double-bladed lightsabers in my collection of stuff, so I had to... Anyway, she doesn't have a ship yet, but I might get one. But for this, what we're going to do tonight, you do not need a ship.
Right.
But I also would say, I had mentioned to Max that I've been watching this show called What We Do in the Shadows, which is how the whole shadows thing comes up. But that's a show that I've been watching. You can buy it on Prime, I'm pretty sure, at least one season of it. But it's like a fake reality show that follows the everyday life of 3 vampires on Staten Island. And it's one of the creative people behind it. One of the creators is Taika Waititi, who we know from Mandalorian and some other Star Wars stuff. And it's just been really entertained by it. And I just love Taika Waititi to begin with. And then also Jermaine Clement, who's from Flight of the Conchords, which is another one of my shows that I really love. So I've been enjoying that TV show. So yeah. Tonight on our operations team, we went back to Gods from the Machine, which we haven't done in forever. We got kind of a late start, and it's a long operation, so we only had... We one-shot everything until we got to the last boss, and then that boss one-shot us. But then it was after 11, and we had to get ready for the podcast.
And we were doing with only 7 people.
7 people, that's true, 7 people. In MFN, we finished up Scum and Villainy. We had started it a couple weeks earlier, and we finished it up thanks to some people who came in and knocked out a couple of bosses before MFN so that we could start in the middle.
Yeah, little pre-show. We did a little pre-run. I think did the first 3 bosses, knocked those down, and then we brought in the 16 people for the fun night and plowed through that. That was really fun to get it to get. I mean, at least 3 people had never done it before, so it was cool to show
And I've
people new
also
stuff.
spent some time trying to generate credits this week too. So
Okay.
I I spent some time doing making the highest level stem, but it's not the reusable one.
Yep.
And that sells really. I mean, I just did the versatile one, and
The
that's the versatile.
Kyprax,
Yeah,
advanced
and that
Kyprax stem.
I
Yeah.
mean that sells very well. So that's a little trick. So I feel like now I have a little trickle of credits coming in to sort of maybe offset all the credits that I spend. Um, and I've actually been kind of combing through my stuff to try and find things to buy, but I mean to sell, which has had some success, but other things just keep coming back. So I don't have quite the, you know, sense of the GTN yet for like. I think if you want to sell cartel market items, you have to be prepared to have them up for a long time because it's a special buyer that wants to buy your thing for 40 million credits, right? It's not the
Yeah.
everyday buyer. So, and I've also sold quite a bit of mats. Like I went through my mat storage and I took everything that I had over 200 of, and I started selling that off, which I know sounds ridiculous to many people who um, are involved in making credits because they have thousands of every type of mat. But I'm just like, no, you can buy my mats.
Yeah. Well, if you're not gonna craft them with them, then now is
Yeah,
a good time to sell them. I've been
yeah.
burning through them and having to buy some here and there. So that would, you know, the market's kind of hot and the prices have been stable to high for most of the like the like the regular gathering mats, scavenging, pretty much everything, scavenging and the crew mission mats and the regular mats. They're all sort of like on the high end of their typical range, and I've been trying to keep an eye on them, and they're just not coming down. So sell, sell, sell. It's a seller's
And
market.
I don't know if Trace Comas is in my future, but at least I feel like I've sort of not hemorrhaging credits like I was before. So if I make 4 million credits, then I can spend 4 million credits.
The more you spend, the more you save, Sema. So got that going for
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So
you.
that's good. Spend more credits. That's what I heard. Okay. But yeah, so how about you, Max? What have you been up to?
Yeah, as I said, I had fun with that Scum and Villainy. Scum and Villainy. We hadn't been in there in a while, and taking new people through and talking about the stuff and pointing out things. And what did I do? I laughed maniacally. I was clearly trolling. I used my best trolling voice, but I said, "Okay, we're at the bridge right before Styrak. Look up at the sky because it's really cool, and just run across the bridge as fast as you can. It's a really nice view." And at least 2 people fell through the bridge. I felt kind of bad while I laughed hysterically for about 5 minutes after that. Uh,
Uh,
so
I I I approve because before what you used to do is warn people about the holes, and I would go, Max, don't do that.
uh, that was kind of fun. So getting through that was fun. Yeah, getting spending an hour in Gods from the Machine as with 7 people and plowing through that place. That was pretty fun too. I know we ran out of time to do the last fight, but yeah, that was fun. I've been keeping an eye on the crafting market. I really haven't done much in the past week. I've just sort of slowed down because the mats prices continue to be high or stay high, and the augment prices I haven't checked in the last couple days, so they could have everything could have stabilized and it could be nice and profitable again. But the augment prices came way down while the mat prices stayed mid or high, and that means the profit margin is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm not going to spend like an hour a day to make 10,000 credits on something that's going to take me 15 minutes, 20
Right.
minutes in the game to make. So forget it. I'll just
That,
I'll just stop until it becomes profitable again, and then I'll keep my mats in my, because I don't need
reminds
the
me.
credits.
You're reminding me because that's the first thing I did, which is I took 25 legendary embers and put those on the market. And so those sold, and that was like a big chunk, like 40 or 50 million credits. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And that that was like an easy early success. So that kind of got me eased in.
Yeah, you should be selling those for 600,000 or more. That sometimes they'll drop. I'll tend to buy them in like the 525K or 500 if I can get them. But yeah, they've been in 600 and higher quite a bit. As I said, not the last 3 or 4 days, so everything could have changed, but it was pretty stable for a few weeks at least.
I sold all my rank 6 companion gifts that were just
Oh yeah,
sitting
you
in
mentioned that too. That's interesting. I have not sold any of those ever. So I've got a whole
I
stacks of those somewhere.
I went and turned in half of all the those caches you get for doing heroics that you turn in on Odessan.
Yeah.
I went and turned in about half of those, and you get gifts for those. So
Right. Okay.
that's the only way I know of to turn those into credits. But they also give reps, so I guess it's worthwhile for you to do it on different characters because it gives you rep with Hyloviz and all those guys.
Right. Well,
Which
until
which
you
you don't
get
need on your main, right?
right.
So
Right. So you could pass it to an alt so they could rank up that rep if you really wanted to do that, but
right.
don't need to do
And I'm
that.
not sure there's an advantage to it. Yeah. Okay.
All
Anyway.
right. So that's what we've been doing. Let's talk about the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
There should be news. There's not news. We're waiting for news. There will be news at any moment. We should have news on Nar Shaddaa Nightlife. We should have news on when 6.1.2 is coming out with swoop racing, and it's just radio silence.
It'll probably be in the morning.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. It'll probably be in exactly 31 minutes.
Right.
So
Right.
that's how that goes. There was 1 or 2 bug watch posts, nothing that looked very interesting to me at all. Something about more armor set bugs in preview and things that clip, yada yada yada. Sema had the suggestion that we should just make up some news. So go ahead
Right.
and you made one up on the fly. Go ahead and
Right.
what's in the news, Sema? Tell me the news.
Sources say that Bioware will be switching the quadrants around on the fleets on the second Tuesday of each month. So tune in for that. They'll be
Allegedly,
switched
you have
around.
to say allegedly after, so we don't get sued for slander.
Oh, allegedly.
They
This is
should do
all
that
alleged.
though. So we got strong, but yeah, they should just.
It's funny to me because I never know which way to go because going to the Imperial fleet and the
Right.
Republic fleet, I just never learn them because they're opposite or different or whatever.
Right.
So I always have to look at the map.
Right. Also in the news, genetic research labs at BioWare HQ reportedly experienced a technical difficulty, and 12 actual monkey lizards are now loose in their offices, allegedly.
Right.
So,
that's just alleged. That might not be actually true.
Yeah, that's what we heard. Sources say. In Guild and community news, which is actually real, the June all games streaming weekend will be coming up last weekend of the month in June for Alea Iacta S. Our guild will have a guild town hall, which will talk about all the games, including Star Wars, everything that's going on across those, and some plans we have for the rest of the summer. And then Marcus, our officer, who you all know from the Working Class Nerds podcast, and Fezgig, one of our new officers from the World of Warcraft division, will be hosting and organizing a stream pretty much in every major MMO where we have an AIE presence, and having some expert in that game walk everyone through a couple hours to show you what it's like to create a character, what it's like to join the guild, what it's like to get started in that game. A bunch of those games are free to play, so there's an opportunity for you to play along as well. What else we got?
Also, just a shout out for Mei Lung's Friday night Master Mode Flashpoint group. It runs about every other week. And this week is one of those weeks, Friday night. So they are doing the Master Mode Flashpoints that you need in order to get the Aerotech Ice Mount Speeder. So that's what they're up to.
Jump in if you need some Master Mode flashpoints and you're on Starforge. Hit us up
Yeah.
in our guild Discord and jump in with Mal. He'll have probably a couple groups running just to knock out some of those Master Mode flashpoints and go down that list for the Aerotech Ice, which is cool. Shout out to the chat room. How's it going, everyone there? We I think we have everything under control. Our Zen, are you back? How's the sound quality from Australia? Zen keeps us up to date as far as that goes. But thank you for coming and hanging out. That is always fun. And now we're gonna learn some things.
If you choose the quick and easy
That
path,
you may already
as
know.
Vader did, you will become an agent of evil. Patience.
The quick and easy path. Sema is going to show us the quick and easy path. So this is something that Sema kept touting to me, this idea of using stealth. I don't play a lot of stealth characters. In fact, I don't have a shadow on the Republic side. I have an assassin on the Imperial side, but I barely play it, and I usually would play it as a tank, so I wasn't like I like forget that these characters can stealth. And even this character, the scoundrel that I've been leveling up, who's now 65, surprisingly, I often forget that I have stealth. And Sema reminds me that there's all these cool tricks that you can play with stealth that you should keep in mind, including ways to go very quickly through heroics in particular, right?
Right. That's
So-
what we're gonna focus on tonight.
All
And
right.
we're on the pub side, and I recommend starting on the fleet at the mission terminal. And it's true that you can go from the activities pane and go to each planet and pick the same quest or mission, but if you just pick them up first, then you can go from mission to mission to mission and just save some zonings time.
Cool.
But I would say, first off, just make sure you have stealth keybound, on a button and keybound. And on the scoundrel, also tranquilize and disappearing act. So that's your CC and your drop combat. And then on the shadow, it's what is it? I wrote it down. Mind maze is the tranquilizer. That's the CC, and then and force cloak is the combat drop. So the reason you want that is in case you aggro something that you meant to be going around, which could happen.
Okay, I've got those. I've got my stealth. Boom! Look at me. Look at all. I'm so
Yep.
stealthy. And I've
You
got
are
my
stealthy.
trank shot. I got that off of the second boss the first boss in Molten Core. I got my trank shot.
Right.
Sure. What's his name? Was it? Anyway, and then I got my disappearing act, my vanish. All right, and we're at the mission terminal on the fleet.
Right. So if you open up the mission terminal, and here's what I do. On Alderaan, the quickest one on the pub site is called Special Delivery. We probably won't do that one tonight because there's nothing about that one that's different. When you can stealth is just a quick heroic. It's worth doing for that. And there's two reasons you would do these, really. One is for conquest, right? If you haven't done an Alderaan quest that day for conquest and you want the conquest points, that would be one reason. And then another reason is XP, because they're quick and they give a lot of XP.
Okay.
On Balmorra, you want to pick up Industrial Sabotage.
Industrial Sabotage. Okay, got it.
On Belsavis, you want to pick up Jungle Flight.
Belsavis, Jungle Flight. Okay.
On Corellia, you want to pick up Starfighters of Corellia.
Starfighters of Corellia? The last
And,
Starfighters of Corellia? Got it.
Like Max's character is 65 and my character is 75, but you can do this at low levels. It's just there'll be fewer planets available here on the mission terminal, and some of them will be red. On Hoth, pick up Signal Jam.
Signal jam. That's my jam.
I skip
Stupid
Ilum
fly.
because
I told
it's
you this fly would bother me, and I'm like,
now
ah,
it's bothering.
it's landing on
I
the
just skip
microphone.
Ilum.
Why would it land on the microphone? Anyway, sorry, Hoth, signal jam, got it.
Ilum I skip because it's not any faster really on a stealth character, and I only do it if
Oh yeah,
there's a reason. And
right.
it's not fast on the pub side, and if there's a reason to it, then there's competition for the little things that you have to click.
Yeah, yep. Familiar with that
McCab
one.
is just a nope.
Yeah,
On Nar Shaddaa, I usually skip Nar Shaddaa too. There's nothing on Nar Shaddaa that where you don't have to kill stuff. But if you really need to do a mission on Nar Shaddaa, I do lab animals.
okay,
You only have to kill 20 mobs.
got it.
On Taris, I do Fallen Stars.
Fallen stars, got it.
Sometimes that one's out in the world. If there's a lot of competition and you don't want to wait or you don't want to steal the clicks from people, then you can do Rakghoul Release, which is an instanced one and also can be very quick.
Okay.
On Tatooine, it's Breaking the Code.
Breaking the code.
And on Voss, the fastest one is Trial of the First, but it's not fast by these standards. There's still a lot of clicking and RP and fighting, but it's the quickest of all the Voss ones, so I usually skip that one.
Okay. Okay. All right, I've got them.
So while I was talking, I didn't actually pick them up. Let's see. Industrial Sabotage. Jungle Flight. Starfighters of Corellia. Enemies of the Republic. Signal Jam. Fallen Stars and Breaking the Code. Okay. Let's start with Breaking the Code. So you'll notice that when you pick up the missions, they're automatically tracked and they have the little speeder, but that one might not be showing. So you can go in your inventory, go to the missions tab, and all the little speeder icons are there.
Oh, cool.
So you can just click on them from there. So I want to do Breaking the Code.
Breaking the code.
So there we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll meet you there. And this is on what planet are we going to? I guess we'll
Tatooine.
Tatooine. Good old Tatooine. Hey Zen. Sorry. Follow us to Tatooine. Breaking the code. Pick up Breaking the Code off of the terminal and follow us. I missed you there.
All right, so it's actually let us off pretty far from the building where we're going. So we're going to get on our speeders and ride through some mobs, and eventually we will get dismounted. And when that happens, you got to use Disappearing Act, and then just keep going.
Okay.
But you kind of thread your way through to get as far as you can before you get dismounted.
Yeah,
And I go around.
this trick you told me about, and I forgot to use. I mean, even just using Disappearing Act, just to get around places, makes a lot of sense. Oh, there they go. Now we're aggroed. Aggroed. Are we going upstairs?
Yep, we're going to go up this ramp right here. And turn right at the top. You should stealth now.
Okay.
Because there's a mob that patrols along here.
Okay.
Well, you didn't have to use Disappearing Act, just regular. Oh, unless you were
I
in
was in
combat,
combat.
yeah. Oh, and now you're in combat.
I'm
Still.
not in combat. You are.
Oh, that's somebody else?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I am.
you want me to help you?
Yeah, let's kill these. How did that happen? That never happens.
I don't know. Maybe because we're together. Am I like messing it up for you? don't know. We'll see.
I don't
We'll try
know.
it again for the next one. Oh, a bonus. Don't want to do the bonuses.
No. In fact, if you want to do a bonus because you haven't done one yet and you want the conquest points for a bonus, there's a much better one for that coming up. Okay, we're rich now.
Okay.
All right, click on this thing. So normally you wouldn't have aggroed those mobs, and you would
Oh, wow.
be
So
done.
that's it. And you're done.
That's it.
Huh.
Next one we're going to do is Jungle Flight on Belsavis.
Jungle Flight on Belsavis. Locate Agent Minoc. Minox. That was my Han Solo impression. Minox.
This one, again, if you need a bonus mission, this one is a good candidate because you can just kill the first 2 pulls of mobs inside this cave, but we're going to stealth past them. Theoretically, we're going to, we stealth past the other ones.
Well, as soon as you vanish or stealth, I will too, just to make. Oh wait, my vanish is on cooldown.
But you can
Oh,
just
now
do
I'm just
regular stealth.
Oh.
Yeah. And we're going to pass by these rift lurkers.
There's talents that make your stealth level higher, right? What did you
No.
just do? You just did a little roly roll. Do I have
Scamper. Yes.
that? Scamper? Cool head.
Yes.
Dodge. I have dodge. That's not dodge. Scamper? I should have scamper? I wonder if I haven't even trained it yet. Scamper. I'm not going to scamper. That does not sound manly. Oh, all right. I will join. Oh, I guess I won't join conversation. I was going to join conversation. And that's it. And it's done. Wow.
It's done.
Again.
All
Jeez.
right. Let's do, the next one we'll do is Starfighters of Corellia.
Starfighters of Corellia. The last Starfighter of Corellia.
Yeah, Zen's,
Oh, yeah.
what Zen said is true. You can use rocket boost while stealth as well. And also he was saying stealth before you get close. Yeah. Yes, ideally you would.
Yeah, no, the just plowing through the mobs when you've got disappearing
Okay,
act
this
on
one.
cooldown. Oh, did you already go in?
Come through here. Yeah.
Stealth?
This one we're going to start out stealth because we're just going to go by these mobs that are right here. And click on the elevator.
Where are we? Corellia? We're Corellia. So this is just regular Corellia, not black hole, right?
Correct.
Elevator.
Turn right.
Right. So Sten is right. The rocket boost does not break stealth, and I do use it all the time now that I remember that I can stealth. And I'm a stealth character.
So click on this little tiny thing right here.
This giant. Oh, it's 1 of 6. Oh, I'm still stealth.
That's fine.
Could let someone else run around and do it for you, apparently.
Yes, that's true. You
How far away
can.
can we be? Like if we're doing it with 2 people, we could spread out, divide and conquer.
Yeah, we probably could.
But then I wouldn't have Sema doing my work for me. And what fun would that be?
Now we're going to go in room number 2 and click on 2 more.
And here, yeah, I would be rocket boosting in between. That's okay. I'll do this one on this side.
One thing I wanted to say too is sometimes if your companion lags way behind you, if you pop out of stealth, your companion can actually come out of stealth in the middle of a pile of mobs and sometimes aggro mobs. Yeah.
Okay.
So in some situations, if it's a close fit, you want to wait for your companion to show up. before you
Why do
pop
I
out of
have? I
stealth.
have Shave Vizsla. Why do I have
Okay, don't click that other. Don't click the other thing.
Okay.
Come over here with me. Now this one has a bonus.
The bonus is recover Imperial weapons.
So we're going to go up this ramp right here. So, and there's a champ up here, which we will
Kill.
CC.
Oh. CC
And then
with
click
your
on this little,
tranquilizer.
yep. And then click on this little doohickey right here.
Thanks for slipping some of those
It's like a little
back
ring.
with you.
And
just-
then that's
Maybe you'll
done.
turn a pretty profit.
Oh, and I
Help
got
healthy imps
personal
out.
conquest completed.
Yep.
Because of the bonus.
And that bonus actually counts for your
And now I'm
Alderaan
level
quest
66.
as well.
Now I'm a level higher than when I started, and I was at the beginning of level 65, and now you're gonna come over here.
You may think it's nothing, but you've certainly outdone
And now
yourself.
I'm almost level 67.
Now
Jeez.
it's up to us to turn the tide.
My deal was I was gonna slowly level this guy just by doing the story. I'm gonna be level 70 before the end of the night. All right.
All right, let's do industrial sabotage.
Industrial sabotage. Okay.
That's on Balmorra, since you always ask me which planet.
Oh, I got kicked out as soon as you left. That's fine.
Oh, interesting.
Must have been
See, I usually do this. This is one of the times that one of the things I do during coffee and contemplation. So I'm not used to having another person. Okay, this one is
slowing you
still
down. You can say I'm slowing
this
you
one.
down.
This one is quick, but it takes longer than the other ones we've said because you have to wait for this really inordinately tall elevator.
Wonder if jumping off and using the recovery probe is faster than waiting for the elevator.
Maybe. I usually don't mount up until I get on the elevator thing because I've driven off it a few times.
Yeah, I agree. I used to dismount to step on the elevator. Yeah,
So
I remember this one in particular.
This you can go all the way to where we're going by not aggro these things, but if you do aggro them, then use your disappearing act. And we're going to go right into this little spot here.
Okie doke.
And the first clicky we can drive right up to.
This is industrial sabotage, one of the plant overload modules. Okay, got one. And we
And then
stealth up.
stealth, yeah, because we're going to
See
that guy right there, and stand to the right of this one a little bit.
Yeah.
And click it.
Okay.
And then stealth again.
Nice.
And CC this guy. And click on that one.
Wow.
This is a popular one, so sometimes these are already clicked on. So there's 2 or 3 more down the road. So it's the same thing, just
Stealth.
CC
what's close.
Yeah, and just
then
click on
stealth
them.
it up. And now I'm level 67. Crazy.
Let's do the Hoth one, Signal Jam, because that's a cool one.
Signal Jam.
Because this one,
It's like
it
Sema
seems
knows
like
all these mobs by name. Yeah, come over here and then CC John and Frank the champion. That's Sith Lord Frank. Got to CC him so that we can.
all right, we're heading right for this fence. But we want to be stealth before we hop over the fence. Because there's mobs right here.
Got it.
We're going to slide by these. And this little console right here is what we're going to click on. But I go to the far side.
Okay.
Wait for my companion to catch up. And on this one, there's mobs everywhere, so I usually just stand here until stealth is off cooldown, so that I know I'm in a safe. Oh, there's
Oh,
some
I
people
see
fighting
some.
up there. See, the next one we would do would be this one, but I'm not going to steal it out from under him.
Yeah.
So we'll skip that one and go over here to this one.
Let's see.
Again, I'm going to stand a little bit to the right of it.
I think
if
they're
you're
doing something
lower-
else.
Oh, is he Imperial? Because there's another. There's also a Imperial one right.
Yeah, they're
right here.
Imperial. So I'll get this one over here.
Okay.
And in fact, because they're Imperial, we should aggressively click in front of them while making eye contact to establish dominance.
If we do this on the Imperial side, we'll be back in this spot to do that quest that they just did. So see this Pat guy right here?
Mm-hmm.
He will get you when you're clicking on the one that I already just clicked on. So if he's heading back towards it, you want to CC him before you click.
Got it.
Then we're coming up on the next one. And I always CC this guy right here.
Who's up above?
Yeah, because I've been caught here before. And it was him. It doesn't seem like he could be able to see you, though. Okay, now we've got 4 of 6. And just for orientation, the next 2 are pretty far away. So you see on the sort of up on that hill, there's like a little satellite dish.
Yeah.
I just head towards that.
Oops. I can't mount up while stealth.
I know, that's dumb.
Wait for me, Sema. No, you don't have to wait. Okay. All right.
And
I
then
see.
stealth again, hop over this fence. Click on this one.
5 of 6.
Stealth again. We got one more to click on. There's actually 2 left, so if there's a little bit of competition, there's some wiggle room on this one. Let's see him.
You gotta go way over because I saw that guy on the other side.
Great job destroying the comm system. I'm organizing my
There you
men to
go.
round up the pirate technicians
You
who
clicked it.
escaped, and the
Where
best
are you?
part is no interference.
I didn't have
Oh,
to
you
click
could-
him. I got credit because you were doing them.
Oh.
I didn't have to actually do it. It's even so good. Here's a tip. First, get Sema to do all your heroics for you. Then click complete when the rewards pop up. All right.
All right. Let's do Fallen Stars next. That is
Fallen
on.
Stars. Investigate
Taris.
the crash site on Taris. Good old Taris. Big old junkyard full of zombie Rakghouls.
I mean-
What could be better?
If I'm leveling, I'll do all these if I feel like it. But for Conquest, you would only do, like you saw, the first half. It was 3 or 4 before you got Conquest target, right?
Right.
Then you'd switch characters and do the rest. Or not, right?
Yeah.
Wait for another day. It kind of has to do with whether or not you have, if you've already done like a bonus mission, if you don't get any renown levels. So it all adds up.
Already completed something. Survey the crash site.
So I'm going to come over here. We're going to click on that missile thing, but first I'm going to CC this guy. And then just kind of stand at the far end of this one. I let you join me this time, even though we're just going to hit the
Thank you.
space bar.
Oh. Ooh, I'm a little close there.
You can actually mount up and go quite a ways up this way, but if you're just feeling your way, why not stealth? At least stealth is as fast as running, yeah. Unlike other games.
Yeah.
Or you could use like everyone has said, you could use the thing with your feet and the blast
Rocket
comes.
boost.
Yes, thank you.
Or rocket boots, as most people call it.
Right. I'm going to CC this guy, but you probably don't have to if you stand on this far as it. But I usually just, it doesn't cost you any time to do it, so I just do it.
I'm going to join your conversation again. Waiting on you. Spacebar. Real hard. And then
Again.
Zen in the chat room mentions there are some things. Oh, so you're rocket boosting. There's even some. Oh yeah. He also wanted to know what the name of that guy was. Joe. I think it's Joe.
CC Joe. Yeah. This guy we actually have to fight.
So defensive screen you can cast while stealth. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. I'm gonna do my 2 dots. Gonna get myself some upper hand, and then I'm gonna smack him with my brutal shots. Get another upper hand, another brutal shot, brutal shot, brutal shot, brutal shot. Got him. Defensive screen and surrender.
Yeah, surrender is like chaff flare.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. My threat drop. Okay. Nehed Kusha. It's a Will Smith baby. Utirmu ulu.
Spacebar.
Oh, sorry. I was listening to the language. I was learning.
You're learning Nautilin.
I was learning Nautilin right there. It was easy.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. Sema said not a problem. 67.5.
Another one, I mentioned this before, but another one you could do on Taris, which you might want to do if you're leveling, right, is Rakghoul Release. And that's an instanced one. So if this one's busy, an instanced one is not going to be busy, right? So.
Yeah, right.
But the last one we have in our quest log right now is the Coruscant one, so we can go and do that. We have to kill a dude in this one too.
I have the Voth one. So we're doing special delivery.
Oh no.
Oh, that's Alderaan.
Enemies of the Republic, I think it's called.
Enemies of. Did I not pick that one up?
Let me see if I can share it.
What did you say it was? Enemies of the Republic. Why did I not pick that one up? Thank you.
Well, I didn't pick up. I didn't think of picking up the Alderaan one because, like I said, it's not really
astrogation charts. Enemies of the Republic. Oh, this is Coruscant. Okay, I know this one.
Yeah, and this is another one that's really easy to do the bonus. Just kill all these guys out here.
This one's easy on any class. But if you don't need the bonus, then yeah, this is probably super easy. Oh yeah, because you also have to go through here. And this is much easier to go through. You do aggro all this stuff when you're going through here on stealth.
And even inside you'd have to actually kill the golds that are in here. So
yeah, I'm on my way. Be there in just a minute. Get up past there. You go up into the Jedi Temple ruins. But this is pretty quick too. If you're not stealth and you're just looking for one, I like this one. And as you said, because the bonus is also really quick, so I've done this just for that reason. But yeah, oh, see, this is so nice. Just in fact, let me rocket boost right past these guys.
Are we? We must be in different instances.
Oh.
Do you have your own instance?
Apparently I do.
Okay. Well, then you just stealth past the guys and then run up to the clicky. Click on it and kill the guy that spawns.
All right.
Oh no.
Sealed case.
It gave me the choice of waiting for you, but I didn't.
Oh, I didn't get a pop-up. Oh, and it doesn't complete until you kill him, unfortunately, so. Oh, and you're not in combat, so then don't I have like a open from stealth? Well, I can stun him. Boom.
Right, back blast.
Back blast?
Oh, actually, I don't know, because we're different specs, aren't we? But mine is back blast. Is the ability I have that hits harder from stealth and behind.
He's dead. I tried to use all my abilities, but he died too fast.
You're right. I tried to use all my abilities, right? And that's the lineup. I mean, we could do the Alderaan one, but like I said, that's That's annoying because you have to wait a minute too at the end
Um,
while the operative finishes whatever
oh,
he's doing at the
doing a
terminal.
thing. And what was the
Yeah.
boss? You said Trial of the First.
Yeah, that one is that one's a little bit better on stealth because you can stealth through the initial mobs, but you still have to zone in, then click on the thing, then kill 3 mobs, and then click on the thing again, and then kill 3 mobs, and then click on the thing again and kill 3 mobs. No, kill a champ, and then click on it one last time and kill another champ.
Well, why don't we go do that one because we have a couple minutes left.
Okay.
Anyway, and while we're doing that and clicking on all that stuff, we can talk about we can just go through the tips again of just the stuff that you should and should not be doing while you're stealth. So I shared it with you. What is this called? Trial of the First. Let's do it.
I'm still zoning in. Okay, so
I'm on my way still.
oh, okay.
Load screen. Because this was like the fastest podcast ever because this was the fastest set of heroics ever. It was amazing. And what so
I actually thought we would
almost
talk
3
more.
levels.
Yeah. So part of the huge advantage of this is just the way these quests are structured. It's not anything that other stealthers don't know or anything. It's just
Well,
like
you doing the hard work and telling me exactly which ones to do and making a list here. That's
right.
kind of awesome.
If we ever do this on the imp side, you'll see it doesn't compare at all. Okay, so we want to stealth through these guys because it takes forever to kill them. However, what you can do if you're on a non-stealth character, this is a tip I got from our guildie Medulla, is you just run through them anyway, and you die down here.
And then we're just res.
Yep, and then click on the door.
That reminds me. So just while we're going through this, I'll follow along. But tell me about doing Black Hole and Section X as stealth.
So I'm not a fan of Section X anyway,
Section
so
X
I don't
is where
usually.
Dreadtooth is, right? I get them mixed
Yes.
up. Yeah.
And even there's a lot of advantages to stealth in Section X because you can just go by so many mobs, but you still have to kill a lot of mobs to
Especially in the
quest.
outside areas. Yeah, I think
Yeah, the
most
outside
of the
areas,
stuff you're supposed to be doing there is killing stuff, unfortunately.
But on the heroic that you do in that one, you can definitely stealth all the way to the end and do it quickly. But you can do that without stealthing too. You can just run to the end
Run
and
to
then
the end and die.
yeah.
Or you can run to the end, throw the grenade, then get killed, but you've now completed it. So
Right.
yeah.
And I think even if you stealth, you probably end up dying half the time. So we have to kill these 3 mobs here.
These guys? Oh, okay.
Oh, I tried to cleanse them. I didn't mean to do that.
He probably appreciated that. Oh, bushwhack. I like bushwhack. Look at that.
I do too. I really like it.
Light the pyre to start the next round.
And sometimes what I do too is
Come on, baby, light my pyre.
I will use rocket boost in between so that Shay's cooldowns get reset so she can open with her strong openers again.
Oh, right, because rocket boost counts as a mount, which makes your companion disappear, which resets them. So they'll come back as full health. It's weird. These guys didn't even have any nameplates.
Probably because you were taking pictures earlier this week.
No, not until I moused over. Did I click on it? Oops, I guess I should kill this guy now.
Someone clean up this mess.
Stop messing around, Max.
Someone clean up this mess. That's what Chaveza said.
Not even a challenge.
Defeat the boss commandos. guess I don't need to do that from stealth. What is the one I'm supposed to... Is it backblast or something?
Yeah, but I don't know if you have that because, like I said, we're different specs.
Yeah, I have the dots, which I forgot to put on. But now they're on.
It's too easy.
There we go.
I mean, I don't know a lot about Scoundrel, but it's even worse on my Shadow. I just like flail about and poke them with my lightsaber.
Click buttons that light up and
Yeah.
click everything. You know, I'll look up a rotation and I'll typically put a prioritization order on my bar, so it's like 4, 3, 2, 1 in particular.
Yeah.
With some extra 5s, and then I put like the things you refresh on F2, F3, F4, and interrupts on F5. So, I need to click 2 apparently. If I set that up, at least anytime I come back to any character, even if I have no idea what I'm doing, if I just kind of press those kinds of buttons, it usually works pretty well.
Yeah. Yep.
Defeat this champion.
Your companion usually opens with a stun, so I like to wait for that stun to wear out, and then I stun him myself, and then he's like stunned for 8 seconds.
And then I flashbanged him.
Max. Family show.
I said flashbang. I don't know what you're... Okay. Anyway. Now, here's the other reason I wanted to do this Voss one. As you can see, I have, in 7 years, not finished Voss Reputation. It's like the only planetary reputation I never came and finished. That is so ridiculous. Voss.
That's funny because when we were on the test server doing the swoop rally stuff, and I said, "Oh, it'll be at last we can we can do the conquest target where you get rep," and you're like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
that'll be
And you
so
can do that
refreshing.
you can do that already.
I don't have GSI, I don't have Hyperspace Armada, and I don't have Voss. So here, I got like a purple thing. Oh, completed advancement of reputation, 5,200. How many?
Level 68.
What conquest am I up to? I'm up to 98,000 conquest. And I think this is all I've done on this character this week. I'm sure it is. Just tonight, what we did on the podcast. 98,000.
So you can
conquest.
literally do, 3 or 4 heroics while you're making your coffee in the morning.
And I started at
or any
65.
time of day, whenever.
I started at the beginning of 65, and now I'm up to the beginning of 68. I'm over 68, so
Pretty painless too.
3 full levels at high level like that really cranked through. And if I ran and did, I figured like in about 12 minutes I can get through CZ198 on any character.
Right.
That would give me at least another level.
Oh, but you asked me about Black Hole. I love Black Hole.
Black Hole.
I mean, because the Black Hole. Because you're saying Section X and the Black Hole, and I started out by saying I don't really like Section X, but
yeah,
I like to do Black Hole. I don't know why I like it better. It's and then the heroic at the end of that, you can stealth all the way through to the first champ that you have to kill, and then stealth all the way through to the last dude you have to kill. So the heroic only takes a couple of minutes.
That heroic is annoying, not on a stealth character. So that I should definitely check out, because that's a long.
The heroic on Oricon is also better on stealth because you don't have to. I mean, those pulls are all such big groups of dudes.
So
you
walking
can just
up on top of
breeze on by them.
It's like 6 grenades into the shuttles, and then you still have to kill a champion or 2 champions.
It's 2 champions and 4 shuttles, I think. But yeah.
Is the stream frozen?
Oh.
Is the stream frozen?
Yep, it looks frozen.
Not frozen on this end. Looks okay here. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. Oricon too. Well, we were talking about Oricon, but yeah, I just want to remind you too, because Zen always reminds us if you're trying to kill a champ that you're having a hard time with, you can always use heroic moment.
Okay. Right. I always forget to use heroic moment.
Yeah, I started remembering because when I was running around
It's
on my
bad.
shadow who had 0 gear and no weapon and a level 1 companion, I started having to use heroic moment.
Yeah, look, I didn't even put it on my bar here.
I put it on my H because, for heroic moment.
That's for horse.
That's for
I
horse.
have multiple MMOs where H is for mounting up. One of them it's the default keybind for mounting up. I think Lord of the Rings, and then I did it for a couple other. I think I did it for ESO also.
Yeah, like I had the trifecta on my shadow because I had a level 1 companion. I don't know how to play the class, and I didn't have any gear or a weapon.
I don't have punch or uppercut on my bar. I should get those. Oh, I have a bunch of here. Scamper. I haven't trained. I've got a bunch of things I haven't trained. Scamper. I don't know where my heroic moment is either, though. Heroic moment. There it is. Do
See, I don't have Holo
Oh, it's
Traverse on a
why did I
bar.
have
I
it
should
over
do
there?
that.
I have it way over here. Point blank shot. Okay, well that was good. So now I know a little bit better how to both play my scoundrel. Like I haven't even picked any of my heroic abilities, or my talents. But this stealth stuff, I wonder if we should take your notes here, especially of the which ones you should go and do, and put them in a list somewhere, and post it. We should at least post it in Discord, so that anybody can get this list. This
Okay.
is just so handy looking to me.
We
But
could pin it.
I think we'll pin. It's of interest to us, so we will pin it. I like to pin my interests.
Ah ha ha.
But with that, I think we can wrap up for this week, and maybe I'll come back and do this tomorrow and get to 75.
Yeah.
So I think for now we are good, and we can take this EPC 342 episodes. Episode 342, kick our EPC 342 out on airlock to broadcast this podcast to all of you. As usual, please keep up with us on Twitter at MaxTheGray and at AIE Sema. And if you know any people that should be playing with us, that's why we do this podcast, tell them to come check us out. AIE-guild.org. There's a Discord link in the upper right where you can join our guild Discord. You can get an invite to join in Star Wars The Old Republic. We're on Starforge on both the Republic and the Imperial side. And tell them if they want any more information to come check out the podcast on YouTube/New Overlords, on twitch.tv/New Overlords. As I said, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. There is a New Overlords on Instagram, all the places. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.